We're here with Conor Benn coming off of that marquee fight against Chris Eubank Jr. I thought it was a very close fight. You didn't get the decision, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I feel like I could fight tomorrow. I feel great, fully recovered. I was back in the gym on the Monday, training. So, yeah, I love this life, man.
You must have amazing recuperative powers, because I saw you leave the ring and you were welted up, and now your face is looking pretty clean, no?
I mean, it wasn't that bad. A little bit swollen, few headbutts, few elbows. But, I mean, apart from that, a fight's a fight, and I felt good on the Monday. I felt like, I was ready to get back in the gym, start back training, and I've just got this new lit fire in me to do better, because I look at the fight and a lot of people saying congratulations, I'm glad I could deliver the fight to the public, but ultimately there's a lot of things in there that I didn't do that I should have done, and changes that need to be made. So, I'm working on them straight away while they're fresh in my head.
And if you're going to lose, I imagine that's a best case scenario. It was one of the best fights we've seen in a long time. You had an incredible atmosphere, Wembley Stadium, nearly 70,000. Was that a dream for you?
Yeah, listen, it's what every fighter dreams of. I mean, it was a pinch me moment. It was sitting there going, wow, I did this. We did this. So a big thank you to Chris, because this fight wouldn't have happened if Chris wasn't there. What a dancing partner, and what a fight he brought out in me. Because it takes two to have that sort of fight. No fighter in my career or any opponent in my career has ever given me that sort of challenge. And, fair play to Chris, he was that guy.
Yeah, and you moved up 2 weight classes. You're a natural 147. You were throwing big shots in there. That was like, you guys were in a phone booth the entire fight. Did you think it was going to be that kind of fight?
No, I didn't. And that's why I was disappointed, because even if it had gone 12 rounds in my head, I still wouldn't have been happy. The fact that it was so close, I shouldn't let it be that close. It shouldn't be that like that. In my head I had it. I was coming in there for the stoppage. When I say something, I mean it. And I was going in there to get him out of there in 4 rounds. I had him hurt in the 3rd, I had him hurt in the 5th, 6th, 7th. Just couldn't get him out of there, because he used his experience, he used his size. He's a lot craftier than people think.
Yeah, and he had fought on that level many times before. You hadn't. That was your first time fighting on that level. How much better do you think you'll be in the rematch?
Do you know what? I give myself a pat on the back, because it was my first fight at that level. Biggest test, but not only the biggest test in my career, it was my first fight at 160. So it was exciting for me, because it wasn't only my best opposition yet, it was my best opposition 2 weights heavier than the weight I feel comfortable at. But ultimately, the weight I don't look at him and go, oh, you're 160. I know there is weights for a reason, but that didn't play a factor, in my opinion, as to why I won the fight.
And the best part here is this is a 2-fight deal, no negotiations needed. We're going to see the rematch, and Turki Al-Sheikh said he wants to see it September in Tottenham. What do you think about that?
That's far away. That's too far away for me. Obviously, September's good, but I'm ready to go, as I said, tomorrow. If someone had to pull out of an injury, I'm ready to go tomorrow. That's how I feel.
And then lastly, we have a big show tomorrow night, 24 hours away, Times Square. Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza. We have Ryan Garcia versus Roy Romero, and Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez. Which fight are you looking forward to?
I'm interested in watching Ryan, because I feel like that's a fight that will happen, whether it's in England or here. That's the fight I'm interested in mainly. But you have good fights. You've got Haney versus Ramirez. You've got Teo versus Barboza. They're 50-50 fights all the way down. But I'm interested in watching Garcia and seeing how he moves tomorrow night at 147.
And, of course, this was a grudge match, British grudge match, great storylines. You had Nigel Benn, your father, in your corner. What did you feel when you saw Chris Eubank Sr. arrive with his son?
I was happy, and I shouldn't have been. But I'm sitting there going, go on, Chris, you made it. You made it, mate. And probably shouldn't have felt that way, but, it's nice when you see father and son relationship together. It's a beautiful thing to see.
And now when you travel around London, travel around the UK, how much different is it for you? Are you getting stopped a lot more?
I'm getting stopped here. It's wild. Like, when you made it is when you walk the streets of New York and people are going, Conor Benn, man, you should have won that fight. What a fight. And it's just it's just overwhelming, because you don't get used to it. Over here in the States, it's mental. But, you got to remember the fight done, 23 billion impressions. You know, you like to think majority of the world saw that fight and watched it. It wasn't just a fight. It was the history, it was the story behind it.
Yeah, and what a fight it was. Conor Benn, we can't wait for the rematch, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow in Times Square for Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, and Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Let's go. I'm excited to see history. I made history last weekend. Excited to see history made the following.